Well, it is almost that time. And it is almost the Christmas time. And we got through the Thanksgiving, but now it's the Christmas time. So a lot of people ask for, the simplified concepts of life to just like as a motivation to get through it. A lot of people are lately, I've been talking a lot about epigenetics and about manipulating your own genes and anti-aging and methylating and detoxification and all this kind of stuff, which is so amazing, and finding out if your parents, what they ate and what they did, and if they were homozygous or heterozygous or homozygous, whatever. Let's simplify this chat today and talk about the freaking holidays and how do you get through it. Believe it or not, it's like if you don't have another person be like, you got this, then I'm gonna tell you that you got this. And that's what this video is about today, guys. So let me tell you, okay. So my keto journey was like 5 years ago, and I tried it on myself, didn't know what I was doing, blah, 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 blah. Everyone knows, well, not everyone knows, but a lot of people know that I said I ate too little fat in the beginning, and then I ate a lot of fat, and then because I wanted to get just into a state of ketosis, and the fat tasted so good, and I gained a little weight, but then I lost it, and years passed, and then I learned how to intermittent fast, but I always eat my breakfast, always, when I fast. But I digress. So it's been a journey, and then I started working with people, and I really started learning about metabolic derangement, and people who are athletes, and people who've got serious illnesses. But with that said, all that's very complicated thing. All those things are complicated. Okay, here's the thing. Holidays. Why are they, and parties and going out to dinner, why is that such a big topic of discussion with people? And the irony is, if you go onto all those other ketogenic protocols, people are so into the food porn, and they're just like recipes and look at this, and if you guys have noticed, I don't do that and I could make a freaking killing off of just doing a bunch of recipes and just talking about food, instead of this epigenetics thing, which some people might find, Stephanie, how do I get rid of my belly and my cellulite and stop talking about epigenetics? But it doesn't matter. I got to keep cranking it out because I want you guys to look at the bigger objective picture rather than the subjective, how do I spot reduce and whatever. So, when you go, in the very beginning, I'm all over the place because I'm like, I'm so cracked on ketones instead of glucose. In the very beginning, I remember, because no one was talking about low carb, high fat back in the day. And so I remember going out and just being like, no sugar, and telling the waiter, sugar in the meat, sauces. I started ordering things that had no sauce. And then I started asking if they marinated their meats in sauce. I started asking if the spices they used had sugar integrated in it. And it was kind of embarrassing because I was learning a lot myself, and I just seemed like an obsessive, neurotic, moronic, whatever, California hippie, whatever. But I knew that I had to stay strict on my journey to remain and be in the state of ketosis, period. So I kind of would say that I was a diabetic. Now, I might even use that excuse if waiters are just a pain in the arse, and I just want my food, let's just get past the discussion. But other than that, when it comes to being at parties and friends and all this kind of stuff, I will never lie again. I was at a Thanksgiving party a few years ago, and it was huge. It was a great party, all this great food. And I looked at everything, and everything had sauce or bread or sugar. And I was like, okay, I can get some turkey, and I had some asparagus, and that was it. And this woman sits next to me, and she's just like, oh my God. Now remember, I live in LA. So, oh my God, are you on some special diet to lose weight? And I remember, you know, this is like winter time, and all the windows were open, so I was cold. I had a jacket on, so she couldn't see the business. And clearly, see, I do not need to lose weight. And so I have this jacket on, and she's like, so you're like on this special diet? And I said, yeah. She's like, oh, me too. Like, it's so, like, yeah, me too. Like, get rid of this and that. And so you're like, to no carbs and like no fat. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because I didn't want to explain myself. I didn't want to come across as some crazy person. You know, why am I eating high fat? Well, there was no fat on that plate because there was no fat there. There was just cream and sugar sauces. But to go and explain from the beginning what the ketogenic, otherwise known as the non-BS diet, is and what it's about, it would be just, I felt at the time, too much of energy expenditure that I wasn't willing to give up to her. But with that said, it didn't give me a sense of confidence to just be like, black and white, this is what I'm doing. And if she couldn't understand or accept that concept, I don't give a shite. It's just the way it is. Today, nothing. And nothing, and I mean nothing, feels as good as keto feels. Or nothing looks as good as keto feels. Nothing. Nothing. I wake up in the morning like a freaking rock star, energy, ready to go. I haven't even eaten anything, and I'm busting through the seams with excitement for my day. My gains, I gained 15 pounds of muscle in a year and a half. 15 pounds, what say you with how much fat did I gain in a year and a half? Well, a lot of it was in my legs because I have atrophied muscles in my legs because of a severe skateboard injury that I've mentioned several times in a lot of my videos. So of course it wasn't just like, but then I've done so many pull-ups that a lot of it was also in my back, my lats. But the point is that when you are around people, you have to do what I always say. It's like trying to get into a state of ketosis. It's like training for the freaking Olympics for the gold. That's what it's all about. There is no half-stepping. What I suggest for people to do is to look at food as fuel and not entertainment. Because once it becomes entertainment, because your serotonin is downregulated and you need that bump to make you feel balanced only while you're eating, is just catering to your metabolic damage. So you have to do a reset on the machine, the body machine. And that's the only way. And you have to do whatever it takes to reach or cross that bridge over to ketosis land to benefit from using ketones as your viable source of fuel, which does what? Preserve your DNA and stops you from aging so quickly. It actually can reverse some of the damage that you've done to your body from misinformation. When you go out to a party, you stay strong and you stay firm with your conviction. You may not want to go and say, hey, I'm doing the keto diet, because you may not have the verbiage or the experience that I do to kind of shut people up in 2 seconds, because I could quiet them like, bam, wham, come on. I can get them quiet. And a lot of it has to do with my age at 47, 5 years in ketosis, no refeeding on carbohydrates or sugars, and still getting the muscle gains, the 15 pounds in a year and a half, and maintaining a low body fat percentage. Just a sense of pride, that's all. Because I'm wealthy in health. Buttery! Okay, so, okay, we're good. What I suggest is a couple things. You go into a party, eat before. Pretty simple. Because if you're not hungry, you're not going to eat. if you go to a party because you've been running around all day skipping meals, and now all you have is those foods, then you're SOL, and that's just learning about pre-planning. Now there are some kind of tricks like peppermint. It's peppermint oil mixed with sunflower oil. You can get it at Whole Foods, and for people around the world, I'm sure you can go to iHerb. It's called Simply Organics, is the peppermint oil, and its flavor, and essentially that helps to curb your appetite. But another thing is to, and I don't like to use these words, but they will be fitting for now until I completely flip-flop and change the terminology. But not bulletproof your tea, sort of a keto-proof your tea, and the proof is going to be changed to another word very soon. But the point is that you're going to add a lot of fat to a tea and sip on that biatch until your hunger senses go down, because your body's going to have to start breaking down some LCTs and some MCTs, medium chain triglycerides or long chain triglycerides, and that'll take down your sense of hunger prior to going to a party. But on the daily, one of the best ways to stay on your keto journey is to pre-make your food. It's not that big of a deal, guys. Just take a weekend, make your proteins for the week, and then during the on a weekend, and then during the week you can add things like coconut oil. You can put things like the tallow, the bone broth fat. You can do duck fat. You can do your bacon grease. You can do your avocados, your olives. Then you add your fat to the already pre-made protein in the size that is important on your protein tolerant level. Your carbohydrates are always easy because your carbs are not going to be rice and beans. Your carbohydrates are going to come from cruciferous veggies. You can put it in a salad, or you can pre-make your veggies. Whip the three together, the three macros and the percentages right, and you're good to go. That's what I do on the daily. When I go out to a restaurant, it is so easy to order keto. Really, you just order protein. You order your cruciferous veggies. Most places have broccoli or a salad, and you can get avocado, butter, or olive oil. We all know that when you go out to a restaurant, you're not going to always get grass-fed, pastured types of fat. So it is what it is, isn't it? At least we want to keep our keto macros in the right percentages when you go out. You essentially just order a dish without the bread, without the rice, and without their sauce. That's it. And you just ask for extra fat on the side. Simple. Parties, eat before. Drink a fatty tea. Bring your own food. You think that's whack? How much are you willing to get into a state of ketosis? Yeah? Stop being scared of what people think, because nobody questions me anymore. Age 47, they're like, what are you doing? How do I do it? So I don't have to deal with people trying to tell me that I'm going to have a heart attack, and that I'm unhealthy, and that I'm making myself sick because they just look. And they're like, you're leaner. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you gained some muscle. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, your skin looks 100% better. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, do you want to see my triglycerides? You want to see my LDL small particles? You want to see my HDLs? They don't say anything anymore. They're going like, how do you do it? So that's it, guys. When you're trying to get through the holidays, just be strict on your keto. Don't compromise. It's not worth it to have to start over again, which you do. And if you want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com, Stephanie Keto, or Stephanie the Business Person on my Facebook fan page, or Stephanie Ketogenic on Instagram me. And I'm going to teach you guys, I'll do another video about holidays and get through the holidays